I want to make my intentions very clear with this video. It's not to call this content creator a liar. It's not to say that they're doing this for views, money, attention, notoriety, none of that. It's just to add to the conversation, because as I'm seeing more and more people talk about this topic, I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about the obvious elephant in the room, which is YouTube's lack of transparency. Put a pin in that because we're going to come back to it later. CoryxKenshin, who has 14 million subs on this platform, made a video throwing some heavy accusations about YouTube and them showing favoritism or being racist towards him. And I'm gonna be honest, his accusation of favoritism isn't even an accusation. It's been proven that YouTube plays favors to a lot of these big content creators. You have individuals who say and do things, they don't get banned, they don't get age restricted, they don't get community guidelines. They literally get away with doing things that somebody like me could probably get a community guideline strike for, and YouTube always seems to cater towards them and not really everybody else on the platform. So yes, they do play favorites. It's the racism accusation that kind of gets me scratching my head, because there really isn't any evidence to back that up. And to Corey's credit, he said in his own video, if he's wrong about that, he would apologize. And you know what? I'm gonna follow suit. If I'm completely wrong and there's some racism at play on CoryxKenshin, I'll apologize for even making this video, and I'll look like the dumbass who everybody can make fun of. He compares a situation where he uploads a video and gets an age restriction to Markiplier's video who didn't get an age restriction. He talks to his YouTube representative. He comes back and states that the video is no longer age restricted, but then days later, they come back and not only age restrict his video, but also age restrict Markiplier's video. And that whole situation is kind of his main point in detailing how YouTube is either playing favorites or being racist. And I take issue with that, but I decided to test the waters a little bit, because over the past few months, I've had 2 videos age restricted on my channel. One about the Jalen Walker shooting and one about some white woman from The View talking about black people owning guns. So I decided to test it out a little bit. With the Jalen Walker video, I looked for content creators who are bigger than me that also talked about it, but the difference needed to be them actually showing the shooting as compared to me. I literally blurted out and let it be known that if I show this, I'm probably going to get banned on YouTube. And I could only find 2 people, the Officer Tatum and Donut Operator. And you would think, based on the accusations that CoryxKenshin's throwing out, you would think that Donut Operator, who is not black, would get the video full and clear, while me and Officer Tatum would get the video age restricted. But not only did Donut Operator get his video age restricted, the Officer Tatum was full clear with ads, and let it be known he showed the shooting unblurred, no edits, nothing. He probably added some commentary, and that might have been the thing that let him skate with it, but Donut Operator also did the same thing, and I did the same thing, except I went above and beyond in blurring the entire thing because I knew YouTube was going to have a problem with it. Hi there, Editing Leon here, and I just want to add something that I made a mistake on. I said that Officer Tatum showed the shooting in full, but what he actually did was show just a little bit of it and then moved on to the next part of the video. But instead of blurring it out or skipping it all together, he did show a little bit of the shooting while also pausing it and announcing that he wasn't going to play the rest of it because YouTube obviously was going to have a problem with that. So that could also be a reason as to why he was able to get the video fully monetized and not have an age restriction. The second video is a little bit weirder because I uploaded that knowing that, hey, a woman talking about black people owning guns is a little bit stupid, but I added an extra detail. I showed a video of a grown man walking down on another grown man and shooting him in the back of the head, and that was the reason the video got age restricted. But the problem with that is that a month prior, I uploaded a video talking about that clip, and that video never got age restricted, and it runs ads quite perfectly. So I'm not really understanding how we could get to a racism accusation without acknowledging that YouTube and their review process and the human reviews are absolutely fucking incompetent. And I kind of thought it was interesting, at least to me, that CoryxKenshin brings up Markiplier, because Markiplier, I think either a year or 2 years ago, talked about how he had a video of a bunch of cartoon characters beating up somebody as part of his meme compilation Try Not to Laugh, and that got a community guideline strike, but the original video, along with with other people reacting to it was still up and available without a community guideline strike. And it should be pointed out that Markiplier went into his comments and let everybody know that, hey, YouTube resolved the issue, but still, you have a big content creator having to deal with somebody giving him a community guideline strike or him getting a random strike out of the blue, while everybody else who talks about this never had to deal with any of that. And they didn't have to make a big stink about it on Twitter. Moist Critical went through the same thing and had to go on Twitter to get anybody to respond to him. And that's the real point that I want to bring up. When it comes to all these content creators, big or small, YouTube doesn't have any form of transparency. You can click support and you can get somebody coming in and give you some generic answers, but when you have something going on with your channel, you really can't get a straight answer from anybody. CoryxKenshin said himself he went and got the age restriction appealed and they rejected it. Now, if that was a human or a bot system, nobody knows. It could claim human review, but honestly, any YouTuber, big or small, that's ever had an issue with copyright, community guidelines, age restrictions, channel deletion, knows that you're really not getting a straightforward answer from YouTube unless you make a big stink on Twitter. If you've been on my channel for at least a year, you know I got a community guideline strike and I was banned for a week because I uploaded a video about a woman talking about she didn't want anybody at her birthday party because they didn't get that thing that I can't talk about because YouTube says I spread misinformation. And the entire reason why I say that sentence is because YouTube gave me a community guideline strike for misinformation because of that video. And the only reason I was able to get that video back and was able to gloat about the fact that YouTube got it wrong is because I went on Twitter at the time and let it be known that they got this wrong, and then they claimed that they would fix it and they would work on it, and my video is back up live and again. So I'm not really seeing a racism aspect when this happens to other black creators and bigger white creators and smaller creators. This is not something that could only be targeted towards CoryxKenshin, but I understand why he's frustrated, because when he goes through these things and he jumps through hoops to try to get an answer, he can't get one from YouTube's headquarters. He can't get an answer from YouTube representatives. He can't get an answer from anybody who actually works on manually reviewing these videos. There was a period where all my videos were demonetized and it would take about 2 weeks for any of them to get reviewed, because at that time YouTube really wasn't going through a process of getting videos reviewed in a speedy fashion. And that was a problem for me as a content creator who was trying to upload daily content. When you have a platform that's not really addressing things and not really going above and beyond and letting creators know what's up with their channels, of course they're going to come and think of something as to why they're being targeted. Of course they're going to sit there and think, oh, why is this happening to me? Of course they're going to sit there and think, why am I being treated this way? So I can't even fault CoryxKenshin for thinking that somebody on the YouTube team is probably racist when they've never been straightforward about anything going on somebody's channel. It is embarrassing that somebody who's big and has to talk about an issue on their channel has to broadcast it on Twitter because no one at YouTube wants to answer. If you're a small creator and you don't have any Twitter following, you're not going to get that answer unless somebody sees you and retweets you and spreads the word for you. You have to depend on somebody on Twitter seeing you go through something and hope that YouTube decides to take a look at it. And in most cases, you could probably get the issue fixed. But in other cases, nothing might happen and you might just sit there thinking, damn, I'm really screwed, or I'm just going to have to sit with this guideline strike, or my channel is deleted, or I'm banned, or I'm age restricted. So the blame is fully on YouTube for not being transparent and allowing people to start thinking, man, maybe you don't like black content creators. Damn, maybe you don't like me because I'm a black content creator. Damn, maybe you do favor the white content creators. I would say that's not true. I would say I'm not really going to call everybody at YouTube a bunch of racists, but the problem is their lack of transparency creates that cloud over everybody's head. So if you're not going to answer for the things you're doing, if you're not going to fix this horrible fucking review process, if you're not going to actually pay attention to problems on the website that content creators have that affects content creators, some who are up and coming, some who are well established, then you're not really going to have any form of trust between you and the content creators. Repsion, a fucking white YouTuber, just tweeted as I'm recording this video that he got age restricted or a community guideline strike on a video from 9 years ago. A video he doesn't touch, a video no one else watches, and he gets age restricted or a community guideline strike for that. I don't have it in front of me, so I might be mixing the two up. But you see that as another clear example that it doesn't matter the skin color, it doesn't matter how big you are. YouTube's review process and their guideline system is going to screw up time and time and time and again, and it's a fucking problem, and YouTube needs to fix that. They also need to answer CoryxKenshin, because if you don't, or if you take his video down, or if you take monetization off, which I think they did, you create this bigger cloud above your heads because you're not being transparent about the information regarding a content creator who is big. Because I saw a lot of people saying, oh, why is he comparing himself to Markiplier? Markiplier is way bigger. These two individuals are some of the biggest gaming content creators on this platform. And if you really think about it, CoryxKenshin is more PG than Markiplier, because Markiplier is funny and CoryxKenshin is funny too. But CoryxKenshin goes above and beyond to making sure he can be monetized and everybody can see his videos by making sure that he bleeps out any swear words, while Markiplier just lets it rip each and every time. And I don't really have a problem with that. Even in YouTube's own ad subtlety check, they changed it to where you can start saying more profanity and you'll still get screwed over by the ad revenue system. This is a problem that YouTube needs to fix. And if they don't, more people like CoryxKenshin are going to throw that accusation out there, and it's going to make y'all look stupid. It's going to make y'all look incompetent. It's going to make it seem like you actually don't favor black content creators. I agree with CoryxKenshin and that black voices shit. That's the most pointless panhandling shit I've ever seen. It's just a bunch of content creators who nobody heard of, who's a nice promo piece for YouTube so that they can broadcast all of them and let everybody know we're not racist. See, look at all these random black content creators, knowing damn well you wouldn't see somebody like me, you wouldn't see somebody like CoryxKenshin, you wouldn't see somebody like Ab and Preach, Young Ripper, all these different content creators that exist on this platform who are black, who are successful, won't get that same level of attention from YouTube. And the only way somebody could truly think about it is if YouTube was racist. And again, I don't think YouTube is racist. I'm not even really calling CoryxKenshin a liar or claiming that he's making this up. He's pissed off, he's frustrated, and he doesn't have an answer from YouTube. So what the fuck else is he gonna think? He's gonna think favoritism, sure, but of course, as a black person, he's going to start thinking about the racism part and wondering if somebody on that platform hates him for the color of his skin and the content that he makes. And who knows, that can inspire other people to think the exact same way and not even want to do content on YouTube anymore. And that's a problem for YouTube. So if YouTube wants to end this situation, they have to be transparent. They need to rework this ad revenue system. They need to rework the guideline strikes. They need to be transparent with creators and actually open their mouths about the problems that exist with this entire process, because it's a problem and it affects everybody, not just the blacks, not just the whites, not just the Mexicans, not just the Japanese. Because if it can happen to the biggest of content creators, you for damn certain it could happen to the smallest. And that's all I really got to say about any of this. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see y'all in the next one. Goodbye.